This is a super simple concept that lays out in front of you how much time you actually still have. And this is in total contrast to what I call the Netflix distortion. When you start watching a series on Netflix, you start with the first episode and then Netflix will take you to the second episode, and before you know it, you've spent 3 or 4 hours binging Netflix, and there goes your time. And yes, that happened to me too a lot of times. The question is only, why in that case don't we ever feel that we don't have time? I mean, I never heard anyone saying, I want to watch Game of Thrones, but I just don't have time. No, usually somehow you always have time for that. On the other hand, when you're thinking about doing things that are really important to you, such as changing your career, and maybe that takes looking up and researching what education you need, what certifications or courses you need to do, all of a sudden you can't even spare 15 minutes to look into that. You just don't have the time. So now that is where we'll get into the concept of career life ahead. And for that, I'll use a very simple example. And if you really want to make a difference in the way you view time and treat time, then do get a piece of paper and a pen and do this example along with me. So here's a timeline of what I would say is the typical age of my viewers on this channel. The first mark that I want you to make is the age at which you started your first job. And for simplicity's sake, let's just say that it's 20. In your case, that might be 23, 22, 21, 25, and so on. And the second mark I want you to make is the age at which you plan to retire. And for simplicity's sake, again, I will use the age 60. I know that in reality, most people will retire at 65, 67, or nowadays might even be forced to work until 70. So just use an approximation and pick an age at which you think you'll likely retire. And the first number that we now want to calculate is career life. In this example, your career life would be 60 minus 20, which is 40 years. What I mean by career life is the total number of years during which you can and want to pursue a career. And the next number that I want you to mark in is your current age. And let's just say in this example that currently you are 30 years old. Okay, the first number that we'll now calculate is career life past. So in this example, the percentage of career life past is 30, your age now, minus 20 when you first started working, so you worked for 10 years in total, divided by 40, your total career life equals 25%, which means that so far you've only spent a fourth of your whole career life. And in your particular case, it might be even less. It might be 15% or 20%. And that leads us to what is even more important, which is career life ahead. And in this example, that 60, the age at which you want to retire, minus 30, your current age, divided by 40, which is your total career life, equals 75%. And this simply means that you still have 75% of your total career life ahead to pursue the kind of career that you really want. In other words, you have 3 times the amount of time that has already passed to make the changes that you need to. And if that's not more than enough time, then I don't know what to tell you. So let me know in case you did this calculation and what percentage of career life ahead you arrived at. And I would really appreciate it if you would leave that in the comments down below. I would really be curious to know about it. And also tell me if this has helped you to change your perspective about time in any way.